Greetings to you this day. This is Michelle Strickland, and I'm coming to you today with my daily theology lesson. It's my daily meditation that I do for myself. I record it and I release it because maybe somebody else out there can get something out of it. It just so happens that I love God and I love theology. Choose God this day. The bad guys, they sin. The good guys, we sin. We all sin. It's whom you serve. You don't have to be perfect. No one is. So that's not going to be an excuse for people. It's not. Choose God this day. You might have issues that you deal with for the rest of your life, but if you come to God's team, try to be better. But if you come to God's team with it, He'll help you get through it. That doesn't mean when you come to God's team, though, that you get away with what you do. 'Cause none of us get away from our consequences, good or bad. None of us, But He can just help you get through it. And love yourself. If you love yourself, if nobody else loves you, which can happen, if you love yourself, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. It's rough out there. I know it is. I know it is. People probably think I live in a bubble, kind of, but not, I know what's happening, and I've been through a lot of really bad, horrible things, but I survived it. So I'm here as a survivor. I show up as often as I do so I can let people see I'm a survivor. And I'm going to talk about some of my experiences a little bit. But that's why I show up, to try to encourage people to just keep moving forward. You have days where you got to step back and, okay, do that. But get back up. Don't stay down. Get back up. Get back up. Love yourself, Just love yourself. For those of you just tuning in, I focus out of 3 major religious texts. I focus out of the Bible, the Quran, and I'm in an introductory Buddhist text called The Shape of Suffering. And it deals with dependent co-arising. Without no this, there's no that. And everything that we say and do has an effect on our senses, good or bad. People have this bad perception about religion, I'm not, I went to a theological college, but that doesn't mean that we're overzealous just because we love God, we just want to become better people. That don't mean that we don't like to go have fun and do stuff, and sometimes we do too much. Yes, we're just regular people, but the difference is that we love God, so that when we mess up, we go to God with it. We can go directly to Him with it, and just ask forgiveness. That don't mean that if we messed up, we just messed up. We got to face our Father with it, though, So don't let religion scare you away, You don't have to consider yourself as religious, I consider now myself, I'm no longer religious. I consider myself spiritual for myself, but I love God and I love theology, and I love to study. I love to study religion. Because when I'm looking at these different, we're dealing with 4 different back religions over here, okay? The Jews, the Hebrews, the Christians, and the Muslims, and the Buddhists, okay? So I want to get a different perspective on how people think about stuff, how the different cultures think about stuff, But at any rate, I try to rotate the text at least twice a week, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on how I'm led to meditate each day. But anyway, I'm back in the rotation for the Quran. I'm in section 4, or chapter 4, the woman, and I'm in section 10. Believers must defend themselves. That's where we're getting to be now. At some point, we got to stand up to the bullies and the bad guys at some point. We can't allow them to just keep running rampant and thinking that, and them spewing all these negative things out into the atmosphere and contaminating our children and the other generations coming up underneath them with this madness, this sicknesses. We got to put a hold on it. Get a handle of it. Oh, you who believe, take your precautions and go forth in detachments or go forth in a body. And among you is he who would hang back. Then if a misfortune befalls you, he says, Allah indeed bestowed a favor on me as I was not present with them. And if bounty from Allah comes to you, he would cry as if there were no friendships between you and him. Would that I have been with them? Then I should have achieved a mighty success. So let those fight in the way of Allah and sell the world's life for the hereafter. And whosoever fights in the way of Allah, be he slain or be he victorious, he shall grant him a mighty reward. So if people, I'm out here, talking about God come, and I'm being tormented in the background. That's what you don't know about. You think I'm just getting on here. Those of you who've been following me, I'm not just getting on here just talking crap. I'm talking, when I say bullies and bad guys, I have bullies and bad guys. They're more hidden now. Before they weren't. They just hounded me. If I hit that door, if I left out to go outside, they followed me all over town. Okay? And there was a time when it was worse. They backed off of me some. I still have to be careful because people don't want me around. They don't. Some don't. But that's because they're wrong, though. Because they know they made it. Because they know they messed up. And I'm going to speak on it. Because I'm not going to let criminals stop me from living my life. It's just how it goes. So I have to be cautious how I move. So I understand what it's saying. But I'm going to stand up for God. I'm going to stand up for myself. If I make mistakes, so what? I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. But I'm not going to let bullies and bad guys stop me from loving God. And I'm not going to let them stop me from living my life either. And what reason have you not to fight in the way of Allah and of the weak among the men and the women and the children who say, our Lord, take us out of this town, whose people are oppressors, and grant us from thee a friend, and grant us from thee a helper. And I understand that. I'm in a city in the state that I came here to help and work. And to be mistreated like these people who turned on me, I don't even know them. I know maybe one. But see, when you talking for God, you don't even have to be perfect. People think you got to be perfect. You don't have to be. No one is perfect. A lot of the biblical characters are not perfect. I grew up in Christianity, but I also studied Islam as I grew older. I studied Islam too. And these people are flawed. Some of these theological characters are flawed, but they love God. So that's not going to be an excuse for you. Well, I was doing this sin. Well, we all do this. We all sin. Those who believe fight in the way of Allah, and those who disbelieve fight in the way of the devil. So fight against the friends of the devil. Surely their struggle of the devil is ever weak. It is. I'm not going to let some daggone bullies and bad guys keep me from my love for God. I don't care how rough it gets out here, which has been pretty rough. Nobody knows what I've gone through. A lot. So when you see me, some days I'm like, I'm doing just push myself because I'm not going to let these witches and warlocks get the best of me. Times are changing, and so is the tide, and it's going to be your turn. I went through my humiliation ritual. It's your turn now. We're waiting on you. So keep on doing the bibbity bobbity and stall. It's just gonna make it worse. Just turn and give yourself up. Just turn yourself up. Give yourself up. Turn yourself over to the authorities and just be honest about it. You already know you're caught. So just do what the right thing. Go to the authorities and tell them what you did. Because they're already going to get you. They're going to get you sooner or later.